be so goddamn rich. What's up, people?
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody's stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
To be fucking rich. I want my fucking money. Griffin, I want my fucking money. Yo, motherfucker. Holy shit, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Damn it, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Griffin, I want my fucking money.
You're an original,
Hey,
aren't
yelling,
you?
give me the fucking money. Get the goddamn money clear out.
Great. Bounty letter.
We're gonna be so fucking rich. Get the goddamn money printer out.
Bounty letter.
Oh, we gotta play it twice. Ain't that fun? That must be a fucking wreck on your ears. My apologies, guys. We're gonna be so fucking
gotta be
rich.
obnoxious.
Get the goddamn money printer out. Sorry about that. Probably hear the same song repeating, echoing in your background. Sorry if that was obnoxious. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out.
Which one of y'all dead motherfuckers just said that shit? Was it you, String Bean? You skinny ass looking motherfucker? Turn around and say it again. Turn around and say it again. Turn around, say it
Will
again.
you please be quiet?
John, that is the President of the United States.
I don't care who it is, he's ruining Hamlet.
Oh, now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. Now you fucked up. You have fucked up now. Now you fucked up. 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 Now you have fucked up.
Mr. President, will you please be quiet?
Suck my presidential cock, bitch. You fat ass piece of shit. You tubbalard looking motherfucker. What? What? What?
Thank you, Sigma, for
What?
making this.
What? What? Hey!
What?
What? Huh? I don't know why you're looking up at me, bitch. Play's on stage. I'm not putting on a play up here. I'm trying to be entertained right now.
Mr. President, be quiet.
John, calm down.
Listen to the woman, John. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Just calm down. Calm down. Hey, Acty, stop the play. Acty, ho, Acty. Hey, ho. I gotta go to the bathroom. I drank too much liquid. Now I gotta piss. I got a bottle. I got a bottle. It's all right. Rewind and play 5 minutes, though, because that fat piece of shit was talking. I couldn't pay attention to what you guys was doing, so rewind and play 5 minutes. And you shut the fuck up.
That was fucking great. Thanks, Sigma. Appreciate you. Awesome member of the Discord. What's up, everybody? Brothers and sisters, thanks for joining us. Let's hop right in here. Let's hop right in with our ape chat over here. We got some interesting information coming on.
That is such a good point, and a really important one, because this isn't MSM. You know, this isn't politicians. This isn't people who want our vote. This isn't people who come to us when they need us this is us. This is us talking to each other. So, you know, I ain't read a newspaper in the UK in 30 years. You know, I rarely watch the news channels. You know, I read, I listen to people, I interact with people. People don't want all this injustice and this fighting. They don't want to be divided. I mean, in the UK, politics don't seem to be fought as harshly as it seems to me. And correct me if I'm wrong, in the USA, but we got politics. But the divides here on the MSM is the same. You know, we're told not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was single mothers. And then it was immigrants. And then it's this and it's that and it's this. I don't have that in me. I don't have that. My kids don't have that. My family don't have that. We don't judge people on, you know, everyone's the same. We've never been like that. And I don't know people who are like that. I know people that have argued and fallen out and had fights. But it's not, the MSM narrative isn't true.
That just
No,
means
but I mean, the political agenda here keeps us under their thumb. And the only way they can do that is by doing divides and subdivides. I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead, brother. I didn't notice you made it back in.
You're good. I was just going to say that what Wolfie was saying is, I guess you've just worked too hard to sit there and care about how you're going to try and deconstruct your fellow person. I'm not going to judge you for that.
Hey, boss.
We live, bitches. What's going on, everybody?
What's up?
Not much. Just hanging over here with a few hundred people. Figured we'd drop in and say hello. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and joining us here in the live chat. I've been listening to this conversation. It's quite the riveting conversation. I didn't even want to interrupt. But we got a situation. We got a situation that we got to talk about, boys and girls.
Let's have that.
Well, it appears.
Let it rip.
It appears that Citadel, the hedge fund, and the market maker are suing an investor, an ape, an AMC and GameStop investor, over some absolute fucking nonsense. As a matter of fact, you want to know what it is? Twitter beef. Citadel is suing an AMC and GameStop investor over Twitter beef. My brother, Citadel, you happen to be here? I'm just wondering if you're in the chat with me.
What's going on, my brother?
Here. Oh, man, dude, I'm sorry.
All right, yeah. Citadel, everybody, this is my friend Citadel Air. He is currently, no, sorry, I should say, he has a Twitter account, or in the past tense, had a Twitter account up until yesterday or so, I believe. There was no problems aside from a pending lawsuit from Citadel. And it appears now that they are going to be going to court because arbitration didn't work out. Is that about right there, Citadel Air? You mind if I ask?
More or less. I'll just correct
Please
2 points. Initially, Citadel LLC and its related holding companies. Let me see. It was back in October 19th. They filed a complaint saying that I didn't have the rights to use the name CitadelAir.com. And it was, they made a fairly ridiculous argument. And, it basically said that any reasonable person would confuse my parody account and website and name with the actual hedge fund or the advisory group, Citadel in Chicago, which does not operate an airline. Furthermore, they actually believed or was able to make the panel believe that I do indeed operate. Not only do I operate, but I'm profiting, I'm monetizing, that I have a real airline business and I'm infringing on their and trading on their good name. So the easiest way to resolve these matters, because we thought it was completely bogus, was to go to arbitration. There was a 3-panel arbitration, 3 arbiters on the panel.
Hold on, brother. Before you proceed, are you telling me that Citadel is suing you for a fictional Twitter and website? Am I
yes,
understanding?
sir. 100%. 100%.
These are wow. That's this class act of people that we're dealing with. You know, so
And not only
insecure
that,
that they can't
but
handle a parody account.
but they can't even, would they believe that they're entitled for anything that starts with the word Citadel, that's under their domain?
That was not their argument. I mean, in this case it was, but I mean, because there's so many other companies that use the word Citadel, but they were saying that clearly, clearly it's I got under their skin, and two, they somehow thought that I was profiting or monetizing, even though I've never made a dollar, off off an airline that doesn't exist.
So you don't own an airline, you don't operate an airline, correct? You don't own, any of their perform business in the field, correct? As far
Negative. I signed an affidavit attesting to many things, and that was one of them.
You even have a pilot's license?
I do indeed.
That's irrelevant, though. That's irrelevant. That's like being saying you got sued for hitting someone with a car because you have a driver's license. Like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't equate to a lawsuit of any sort. Just because you have a driver's license or a pilot's license doesn't mean that Citadel can sue you for making, Citadel Air or, Citadel car manufacturer, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, and just to file a lawsuit against apes so frivolously over something like this is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Could we
I'm
start
shocked.
by using this person that's getting sued's name to start with, and then also figure out how to financially support them? But I mean, could we all, because I mean, if they're going to sue, let's say 1,500 apes or 200 apes or something, wouldn't that drain tons of cash? But I don't know. I'm pretty stupid when it comes to how this whole world works. But to me, it's always seemed like if a bunch of people flock in and do, like if we all changed our name to the same name that he was using or tried to use or hashtags or something and just blew it up to where they couldn't sue everybody that was doing the same thing, like what's the next step here?
Well, I don't know that exactly right here. But for starters, before we delve into what to do next, now that we kind of understand a little bit of what's happening, for those of you that are unaware, today the Twitter suspended multiple accounts, including Citadel Air, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial tracker, and Nancy Pelosi's trading tracker. All three of those accounts, very, fairly large, popular accounts, were suspended today from Twitter. And as we all know, Jack Dorsey has left Twitter to be the CEO of Square. So none of us really have any idea aside from the Twitter reps themselves, what it is that they can and can't do. And it's fucked up that they're taking down accounts like this when, the Pelosi tracker was doing nothing wrong. The Ghislaine Maxwell tracker was showing information on the news. And Citadel Air is just a parody account, very, very clearly as well, that displays news information. So that being said, that puts us all in an interesting situation where I don't know what to do next, but I know right now that I will support my friend Citadel Air, and I keep calling him that out of sheer choice because I don't want to say his name. But if you'd like to continue, could you tell us a little bit more about what happened in arbitration, please? If you could share.
Yeah, no, it's the arbitration is, was just kind of sad, and there was a lot of irregularities in their finding. But basically, the panel found, and they returned their decision very quickly, like within days, when usually this takes weeks or months. They said that there is not, quote, an iota of parody, unquote, in my content. So that, amongst other things. So they found for Citadel, they said, you know what, Kenny, you're right. He can't use that name. It's yours. And when they rendered that decision, which was the 29th of November, I had 10 business days to respond before my intellectual property was handed over to Citadel, which means my domain name, my name, Citadel Air, my Twitter account, email, anything associated with, quote, Citadel Air intellectual property would be handed over to Citadel within 10 business days, unless there's no way to appeal arbitration. The only way to kind of stop it is to file a new claim, so basically a new lawsuit. So today a lawsuit was filed in federal court. Me, Citadel Air, v. Citadel LLC, et cetera, et cetera.
Are you
saying?
Are you the one suing, or are you the one being sued in this particular?
I was the one that was sued first.
Right.
And the arbitration panel found for Citadel, and then I did not. Because of the censorship and free speech issues, and this was even prior today. The censorship, free speech issues. The number of other people that have been silenced.
Yeah.
Those folks didn't have the ability, the funds, et cetera, to stand up for themselves. I had the opportunity. I have a good legal team. So I thought about it, talked to the missus, and I said, sure. And so the new one is I'm suing them.
Fuck yeah.
That's fucking
If
fantastic.
memory serves me correctly, boss, didn't the other two, the Ghislaine Maxwell and the Nancy Pelosi Twitter accounts, those weren't just suspended. Those were like deleted. They can no longer operate on them, I believe. Is that not correct?
I can't say on that. I don't know. But let's keep it on the topic here of Citadel Air, if that's okay here.
Did you respond to that within the 10-day period?
The deadline was not today, but we are within that 10-day period today when we filed.
What you're going through is an administrative process, and there is an appeal, but not like an appeal like you would think, like to a court. So as long as you follow the whole administrative process, respond to everything, and put your own declarations out, you will have a process to go to with the courts, especially if, I don't want to say enterprise, but whatever property you're talking about, if there was no commercial aspect to it, dude, in the end, you would win.
Correct, and that's what we said in our declarations and exhibits through the administrative proceeding. That's what we did, and they still found for Kenny. So that's why we now have to file in U.S. District Court, federal court, because the administrative proceeding, the arbiters panel did not work. They still found for him. They didn't They clearly didn't understand the concept of parity. There were some irregularities in the finding, et cetera, et cetera. So
the arbitration is not judges and attorneys.
It's an administrator.
It's people that have an interest and a lack of understanding in the actual legalities here. They claim to be, unbiased, but in this sense, it's pretty fucking easy. It's pretty fucking easy to see that it's a parody. So that's pretty fucking crazy, man. So
tell me about it. You know what?
Take a look at this.
I'm sorry?
Does this look real, guys? I mean, come on. You don't got to be a genius to figure out that they're not flying a bunch of jets within feet of each other with the giant Citadel logo on the back. I mean,
I think the premise... Sorry, boss.
Go ahead, buddy.
I think the premise of coming after you could be a multitude of things, and that's why I'm asking, with the legal advice that you've had and the process you've gone through so far, what has been their advice?
Their advice, when I consulted, I have a general attorney that I use for things, and then I'm working with a separate firm on this matter that he recommended, that they've been doing this for 20 years, have represented cases much bigger and much smaller than mine, and they got really excited about the notion of going after Citadel, to be frank. Their advice was, we're going to do arbitration. They're like, we win 8 out of 9 times. This is a slam dunk. They can't guarantee results, but when the decision came back, we were floored. And their advice now was, well, if you don't give a shit, excuse my language, but if you don't give a shit about the Twitter account and the name and the parody and everything that you've done, and you're okay with them taking it from you, then we let it lie. They said, but if you're like not cool with that and you're upset about your First Amendment rights being stripped of First Amendment rights because of commentary and satire, which is permissible, because nothing I said was libelous. Nothing I said was slanderous. And nothing was commercialized. There is no commercial enterprise. I've made $0. I had to give in my financial disclosure. I had to say the only monetary gain was a couple of books that Suzanne Trimbath, she looked up my home address through someone, and she sent me a couple of books. One that's out of circulation, autographed it with a note, and sent that to me. That's the only thing I've received for compensation. Not even really compensation, but nonetheless, their advice was this. They were like, "This is an atrocious finding, and if you want to fight it, we're there to support you." I mean, it's not about the money for them. It's clear because they discounted their fees for me now that it's going to in a federal court. I mean, I don't know many lawyers that do that, but they think there's merit behind the cause.
Well,
They're
I'd
definitely
like to
not.
think with
Go ahead, buddy. They're definitely not reducing it though, and reducing their rates to help you out because they don't want to take it to court. They're not doing that for any other reason that I think, usually when you go to federal court, you need more help, not less. So I can't see them reducing their rates, because they don't want to do the case. If they didn't want to handle it, they would most likely have doubled their rates, and said pay up or shut up. So that really speaks volumes as to their character. So I'm really, really happy to hear that. So Citadel sued you for making this parody website and having a Twitter account named Citadel Air, which, I mean, you can't show it now, but for those of you that know, it's a lot of findings of news and parody information, which was really damn hilarious. And at the same time, the Maxwell Trial Tracker and the Pelosi account were all removed, struck from Twitter. However, this arbitration case, this really does infringe on our rights. And if Citadel thinks that they can shut us up by suing us into the ground, they got another fucking thing coming. And I can't fucking believe this shit. Actually, I'm sorry, I can believe it because we've seen the kind of nonsense that Citadel's been up to, and that they want to, throw their money around for whatever reason, other than to shut people up. They want to silence us, and that's not something that's going to happen anytime soon. That's not going to fucking happen. So do you hear, since Citadel sued you, and now you're countersuing them here, you're suing them back, do you have any opportunity to possibly get them to pay, court costs and other, fees and whatnot associated with wasting your fucking time and making you take out time out of your day, and damages to yourself and your Twitter account and your personal business?
These are all things for consideration. I think we're not quite at the damages stage. I think we're just at the initial part. But if there were such a settlement, I would like to have some of my legal fees reimbursed because I think this is utter bullshit and frivolous, and I'm inclined to believe that a judge would agree with that finding based on some existing case law and some friends I spoke to that follow some of this law very closely. The case is not this particular case, but similar case law. But it's I'm not out for to monetize this or get any money from it. This
No,
for
but
me,
you're losing out. You've got to waste your money, waste your time, come out of pocket for attorneys, have funds and things like that, which you cannot use until this case is over, should you win it. So I do think that you're entitled to damages, as well as the fact that your Twitter account is not available. So even the exposure that one would get from a parody account would be worth something. Has a actual monetary value at the end of the day, even if it's not a tangible dollar asset that can be attributed to it through financial gain or loss. So for them to try to say that we can name a company, we can make up a company right now and use the name Citadel and Citadel blank, and as long as it's not something they already own, there's not a goddamn thing they could do about it. So the fact that the arbitration went against your favor, even if it was a real airline and you made a company called Citadel Air, which it's not a real airline, excuse me, Citadel wouldn't be able to do a goddamn thing about it, even if they did sue you, because it's a different name at the end of the day. So if they wanted to prevent people from using the name, they would have to go out and buy every single possible name combination for Citadel blank or whatever Citadel that they could imagine. That's the only way. Because I could literally go start a company tomorrow named Citadel Security Sucks LLC, and everything would be kosher. And if they tried to sue, I'd countersue them back into the ground. So I think you've got a really fucking good chance here, brother. I wish you the best on this. That's for damn sure. So it looks like GoDaddy confirmed by email that your domain name is registered with them. And then Citadel LLC here from the Forum Arbitration Mediation International decision states basically that they ruled for Citadel that this obvious parody website should belong to them. Does that make any fucking sense to anybody here listening or watching right now? Any attorneys in the house?
Well,
Where's our fucking lawyer of the apes? Somebody get that man in here.
Also saying, quote, there's not an iota of parody, unquote. That was one of my favorite
yeah,
lines.
since three passenger jets just casually fly within inches of each other every single day. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, there's no parody here at all. Flying in fucking formation over here like they're gonna go attack fucking Ukraine and fucking Taiwan. Come on, dude.
I don't know. I guess
Hey, man,
I'm not
I'm
that funny.
Citadel must really need the money right now.
I don't even think that's what it's about. It's probably more about they want to silence people.
Well, boss, here's what our theory, the legal team theory was. Because my account's been suspended, Twitter account's been suspended twice, and I've been able to get it reinstated because I said, hey, I own the name.
Yep.
And I had the placeholder website and the pending trademark, et cetera, et cetera. I was able to get my account restored 2 prior times. And then as soon as this, the administrative proceeding ruled against me, I was like, I know that my Twitter account's in jeopardy now. I didn't expect it this quickly, especially because, we have 10 days to respond. But apparently Twitter went ahead anyway and just said, nope.
Well, they're on a fucking roll, it looks like.
I wonder if there's some sort of coordination with Citadel and social media companies like Twitter.
Yeah, don't you think it's the legality part of it? If they know this has happened or been contacted by Citadel or their lawyers saying, look, we've had all this go on, no one will touch it until it's resolved. So at the moment you've had arbitration. Can you imagine them 3 people, going into work and all of a sudden Citadel, representatives roll in and say, we want to squash this man. I'd like to think I'd say, yeah, get the fuck out of my office, but you've got 3 people. But if you've had arbitration so far, regarding Twitter and stuff, I think you've seen with Jack, boss, you mentioned Jack's gone off. He said he left a really nice letter. But
Dorsey's gone.
If you have a look at that, and then, Ghislaine Maxwell, all of a sudden, that account was blocked down as well. There's changes afoot, and that comes from high up. So I'm not an expert in nothing. I'm not telling anyone what to do, but tread cautiously, which is why I asked about the legal advice. Your account and fighting it, if it's going to cost you $100,000 and you could lose, I mean, what do you want from us as we're all here? you know, we're willing to do what we can. But what is it we can do? What is it you'd like us to be able to do?
How could we help? How could we help you here? We want to be supportive as possible. We appreciate you. I've known you for quite a while now, and I think a lot of the people in the community do as well. You know, just in regards to what you've done to help inform and provide laughter and parody for the community as well, because all that is important. How could we help?
You know, I appreciate that, brother. That's a good question. You know, I'm not Chad. I'm not soliciting money.
No, absolutely not.
I'm not. I didn't hire Wes Christian or whatever his name is.
No worries, man. I understand that. But seriously, how can we help?
That's a good question. How do we fight, you know, Twitter censorship? I'm not certain. What I plan on doing is once the filing is you know, acknowledged, or whatever the correct term is, it's a matter of public record. I plan on putting it on blast. You know, I'll post it on the website or something. If people want, I mean, just so people can see it for transparency reasons, and if they want to distribute it, by all means.
I think it would be helpful to, at least for now, show support for Citadel Air and for our other ape brothers and sisters that are getting, you know, harassed by Citadel. Like this, that would be one of the most important things, in my opinion, for now. We all know Kenny Griffin and Citadel are not fans of publicity, or negative publicity, I should say. Yet at the same time, they're fighting a case that they're bound to lose.
Well, I mean, even before I moved forward with any of this, there was, you know, 2 or 3 different like independent media articles that covered this, and the coverage would look bad for Citadel based on the panel's findings. So how is this going to look for them? You know what I mean?
It's not going to look great, I'll tell you that much. And I think people need to share this because they say that the complaints mark in entirety, adding only the term air and .com is insufficient. And the complainant, Citadel, requests that the domain name be transferred from respondent to complainant. Why the fuck does Citadel, the hedge fund, want a website named Citadel Air? For no other reason than actual harassment. Because I could have just put one letter after Citadel. I could just put an S, and that would be sufficient to be a different company name, which I could do whatever the fuck I want with.
Start a hashtag free Citadel Air.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
I just had a great business idea. Citadel Hair. Take all their hair after they get it shaved for the prison sentences, and we sell it.
That's fucking great.
I think that's right.
Get a picture of Kenny bald.
I think that's the thing that we can definitely do. If you can, you know, get to Boss and Boss can chuck it up, and you know, we can have some fun with it. And if you could put something together, because you've been involved start to finish in obviously what you've gone through, but if you can put something together and then we can start, you know, getting it out, and then, you know, I'm sure there's people out there that are just, this ain't right, and you know, it's a great story for a bigger picture. But my only concern is, and that's why I'm saying, for you to give us the stories, or you to give us your own personal account of what's gone on, we can use it, have a bit of fun with it, whatever. But my only concern is for you personally, what that might or might not end up costing. And you've got to be the decider in all this. It's all right, we're all going to come up with great ideas and stuff, but really, ultimately, you know, you need to decide what you're comfortable with, and obviously take a bit of legal advice, maybe, before we all start having some fun at Citadel's expense, because this is petty.
This is bullshit is what it is. It's an infringement on all of our rights to free speech.
I concur, and it was given much thought. I did not go with my, you know, fight or flight response, which was "fuck you," you know, and I mulled it over for 2, 3, 4 days. I spoke to the missus because the team warned me. They were like, "This is gonna garner a lot of, you know, not just you know, independent media, but like." Could garner some MSM attention, and I have to be prepared for that. And I was like, okay, no, that's fine. but when the complaint was finalized after, when I saw we were going back and forth with drafts, in order to fight this, unfortunately, I basically have to dox myself.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. That sucks. That's one of the reasons
right
why
the
they thought they could push you around, because they thought that you would not want to come public with the information in order to maintain your anonymity on the internet. And I think they failed to realize that at this point, the majority of apes don't give a fuck and are going to stand up and say, I've had enough. I'm going to put my foot down. This isn't some game. This is real, legitimate stock market manipulation that is screwing over millions and millions of people. This is suppression of freedom of speech. Ken Griffin recently bought the Constitution as well. Like, what a fucking joke. That's a great way to tie some money up for a while.
Has he read it?
It's not something. Has he read it? Yeah, that was a great point. Has Ken Griffin ever read the Constitution? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Maybe, subconsciously he's like, yeah, I can buy this. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing to me. You know what I mean?
That's probably what their idea is. And they're probably just trying to push people around. And I'm so glad that you're not taking their bullshit, because you've got pretty much an unlosable case here. So I wish you the best, my brother. And I think everybody needs to share it and retweet it. Okay. This shit needs to happen. This is another clear indicator of just how desperate they are.
I appreciate it, boss, and at least we haven't appealed. The lawyers have not gone to Twitter yet because we wanted to wait until the filing was, we got the whatever the stamp from the clerk, etc. back before we went to Twitter, and it's like it's bullshit. But at least my website will be intact, but I will be keeping stuff floating your way, boss, and just so you can circulate, because it's I'm just taking umbrage with having my speech taken away arbitrarily.
Absolutely, it's not right, dude. And we were here to support you, man. I'm almost speechless at their desperation and at how low this piece of shit is willing to go. So I'm more than happy to support in whatever way possible, and I think everybody here should. It doesn't cost us anything to spread the word, to share it on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all your social medias, TikTok, for fuck's sake. Get it out there, share it out. Let's get this.
Much obliged, Mingo. Appreciate it.
This piece of shit wants to push around our friends and our investors. It's not okay, and I'm not going to fucking deal with it. We're going to keep covering this.
Can I just ask, until you've got some for the individual, sorry, I didn't get your name, till the individual makes a decision on what they do or don't, we can go and do things outside of anything to do with you, is my understanding. I'm no legal expert, everyone's got to check for themselves, etc., etc. But we can certainly make noises about how petty, but I don't know that we're in a great position for you to be naming or being specific about your own certain circumstances at the moment, until you can come back with something that's okayed to be released and talked about and made of, if you get where I'm coming from.
100%. I don't think I need. I think it's okay. The discussion and noise making, I think, is acceptable. If you're referencing the name, that's my name. That's fine. What I'm waiting for the quote unquote okay is for me to release certain documents. I don't want to find I'm not a lawyer, but I just don't want to make a mistake such as putting something out there that shouldn't be. So once I get the okay on certain documents and stuff like that, that's I'll post those up freely. But I have no problem with people spreading the word. There's already been 2 or 3. I mean, one's a blog, I think, but there's already been a couple of other articles or sites mentioning this specific matter. They weren't aware that I was filing filing against Citadel because I couldn't exactly tell them, but I suspect they'll know shortly.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is absolute bullshit. I'm not gonna fucking put up with it. And yeah, everyone needs to share it. So in the meantime, you continue to tell us only what you can, what the attorneys, are able to push out publicly, and we'll take it from there. Because we're sure shit not going to be silenced by this piece of garbage, Ken Griffin and company. So.
Right on, amigo. Much appreciated as always.
No doubt, no doubt. So thanks again for bringing it, bringing this to our attention and sharing it with us. Thanks for not trying to go through this by yourself. I know that sometimes it's tempting. I know sometimes it's you don't want to come public. You'd rather deal with it on your own. But I think this is one of those kinds of things that needs to be well known in the public, so that others can be aware as to the real desperation and what they're trying to do to take away our rights here as investors. By shutting out the retail investor's voice, they're effectively keeping people quiet. The more public figures that can be shut down, like Citadel Air, like the Ghislaine Maxwell trial tracker, like the Nancy Pelosi trade tracker, all in one day, the more that this occurs, the less that retail and people like you and I are going to have a voice, because they have many followers for a reason, because people connect with that. We enjoy seeing their information. We get a laugh out of it, or we get some education out of it, or some sort of entertainment. And that is all important for people, especially in the stock market and looking for real truths out there. So we need to maintain mental health through laughter and comedy and parody, and we need to maintain news through sharing of truths. So I don't think it's any coincidence that these all got shut down on the same day at all.
I don't believe in coincidence, man. It was highly suspect.
Absolutely. It's just it's also very very odd the way everything has kind of been, like all this news about these trials and everything, especially the Epstein trial being kind of suppressed and now being gone in 7 days.
A pretty basic strategy on their part.
Trying to shut it down. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's a pretty basic strategy if you think of it on their part. I'm aware that obviously in LinkedIn that just created, but we've had Reddit from day one and Discord channels like yourself, thankfully, to get the truth out there. But Twitter at the moment seems to be going through all sorts of issues with muting people. But the strategy from Citadel is this sends a message. The message is be careful, quieten down, know your place. This comes out, people are going to be I personally think people will be in uproar because everything you've just said, boss, people are tired not having a voice. And when we find one, all of a sudden it gets taken away from us. And the big boys with the money, they can just shut us down because they throw money at lawyers that kill us off. And when we're single and we're on our own, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to fight back. But when you've got 4, 5, 6, 10 million people that, hang on, what's happened? The noise becomes, So hopefully this does catch fire and people get this out.
I hope so. I think my attorneys wrote it up well, in both in a couple of places. But it's Kenny is the 45th wealthiest person in America. Let that sink in. The 45th wealthiest person in the United States, and he is coming after me, a nobody.
Not nobody anymore.
Apparently. But I mean, it's if that the not even the 1%, like the 0.01% can just come down and just silence someone arbitrarily. I don't think that's going to bode well. And if I had funds personally, if I was invested with or involved with any of their subsidiary companies, I would be like, this is a little nutty. This is bad PR, but. What do I know? I'm just a defunct Twitter account.
All right, went to go get my little one. Sorry there, I didn't mean to leave you guys hanging. But
No worries, boss.
So the word here from the arbitration committee was bust, huh? What a fucking joke. Who are these fucking joke of an arbitrator?
It's a randomized process, but basically, I had to pay extra to get 3 people versus 1, and it's like an extra $2,600, and so it's not cheap, and it's randomized, and then like we get a list of either 5 or 10. Citadel's attorneys get a list of 5 or 10, and then a third person is randomly picked. That's my understanding. So we got our pick, and there's some irregularity there with some of the verbiage and the findings, but our pick, it's clear that like if you look at her prior cases that she's been an arbiter on, if she's disagreed with the panel found 2 out of 3 found, etc. But if she disagreed, she nearly always wrote a dissenting opinion as to why she disagreed, and it's clear based on the verbiage in their decision that there was not a unanimous or kind of universal finding. It's clear that someone didn't quite agree, but it wasn't enough to to sway it, and we believe it was our pick, and it's curious why there's no dissenting opinion. I'm speculating, but if my attorney's been doing this for 20 years and he recognized 2 out of the 3 names that that were on the panel.
Oh, he recognized them immediately, huh?
He said the RPEC. He was like that. He was like she is the best possible person we could have reviewing this matter. He said. He was like he's been in front of her countless times.
Well, unfortunately, the other ones did not agree, huh? The other ones did not play.
Yeah, I think one of the arbiters is from, I don't know if it was like Belgium. I can't remember right at this moment, but somewhere in Europe, I think. And, I don't, whether he was a lawyer or not, I don't recall. But I mean, how is the First Amendment issue gonna ring true to him?
Are you arguing it as a First Amendment issue?
It has to be.
It
has to be. They're saying they're trying to take away his fucking domain name that he paid for, that he took the time to go get. It's not like Citadel just fucking started a couple of years ago. Citadel's been in business for over 20 some odd years. I think these assholes couldn't have gone and get CitadelAir.com if they wanted it or needed it. But just because someone else has it and is parodying them, does not give Citadel the right to take their parody account, their Twitter account, their domain name, and their freedom of speech.
Yeah, but the argument wouldn't be a freedom of speech thing. The argument would be the taking of property without just compensation or without due process of law.
A little bit of everything there. Yeah, I think it's kind of all of those factors by an attorney could be investigated and possibly argued as well successfully to some extent, because this CitadelAir.com is our friends' property. It belongs to you, just like an NFT, just like your fucking house, just like your apartment and your car, or anything that's in your name that's paid off. It's yours. Nobody can take that from you. So for them to come over, next thing you know, they're going to go and take every other company that's got Citadel in their domain name, and they're gonna want to fucking take their shit too. Or if you want to have any sort of similar name to anything that's already out there, they could come out. You want to open up a store, and it's got a similar name to somebody else, even though it's completely different. They're gonna sue you and take it from you. Does that sound like it's right?
They don't actually have an airline, do they?
Nope.
Negative.
No airline, no air services of any kind. They don't do anything of the sort in any way that could be related to air. You
From
know?
some of the case law that I've read before, the only time that it was justifiable in taking a trade name of someone is like a similarity from a piano company called Steinberg, and then another person creates another piano company. It's not spelled the same, but it has similar sounding, and they took the name from him because he was in the same business. Even though they weren't spelled the same, they sounded the same and were in the same business. Was enough for the court to take it, and that's like an old case that still stands today. But
I find that, I mean,
like
it's
I
probably
said,
happened in the
if they're
past.
not in the business,
Yeah, that's
but-
completely different. But you know what, man, is I kind of have to disagree with you there because I've got a couple companies, and one of them, sorry, I could just say it plainly. You know, we've got multiple companies. One of them's Hotshot Expediting, another one's Hotshot Expediting Logistics. We've got a lot of similar sounding names because we're in similar fields. But there are other companies, you know, logistics companies, trucking companies that have come out with almost the exact same name but slightly different, and there is nothing that we can do about it. We've tried it with them already. We've had discussions with them. I've argued with and brought it up to multiple different state entities and federal entities, and none of them can help us. The name is almost exactly the same, but they changed it ever so slightly.
And they're in direct competition with you?
And they're in direct competition with us. Exactly. And there's nothing we can do about it except to take it to court. And if we're lucky, it might go in our way. But I've already had several attorneys telling me that even if it's off by one letter, if just the entire name is exactly the same, so one letter is spelled different, you got no case. So for Citadel to do this, I can't see them fucking winning. I can't see them fucking winning, man. Make sure you get damages and for all this bullshit they're making you go through. Emotional distress, wasting your fucking time, all this. It's nonsense. So we need to support our friend. Make sure you guys share this on Twitter, all social media, wherever the hell you can. You know, I could not stress that enough.
Here's because I'm using the Steinberg case, right? I'm going on in terms of you could have any legal name that you want, right? Even if it's spelled different or whatever. But it's when it is used in commercial transactions and advertisements. That was the argument in the case on how they made a profit. The name, ultimately, legalities didn't matter because they owned it. It was their intellectual property. But the use of it in the public was in direct competition. And it was just spelled with a U and an E for Berg at the end. And it was two direct, flat-out piano companies.
And I believe you. I would just, maybe if I take it to court and spend, you know, 50 grand, 100 grand on attorneys, I might be able to win that case. And, you know, they would probably only have to change their name and that'd be it. I would not be able to get any other compensation out of that.
This is the first time me speaking. I watched your videos.
Oh yeah, welcome, man. I'm glad to have you.
I never got on your Discord, right? So what
Welcome.
I study trust law. I study residency laws. And what resident law brings you into tax law. Constitution for sure, my state and the U.S. Constitution. I have easily over 150 law books right here in my home. A lot of it is revenue and commercial law. A lot of it's Illinois law for sure.
Awesome. Thanks for letting us know.
I got dictionaries and.
Bro, I know you study them strippers too by that profile picture.
Bro, that profile is so old. It came. I play World of Warcraft, so I use Discord, and like that has been my logo for like 10, 15 years or something.
Man,
All of the booty.
I wonder what the original ass looks like now. There might be some hail damage, but that's okay. Sorry, boss. I'll shut up.
But what I normally do talk about is private rights, like the understanding between the difference between state and federal, public and private, are essential for how you get taxed, with you individually or you as a business.
Well, thanks for letting us know, man. I think that's all really good information. So I appreciate that. Who knows? Who knows what could be the case, you know? But like you said, thankfully that was all like they were in the same field. They were competing directly with each other as well, and it was very similar, almost to like purposely want to trick somebody. It sounds like, right? Steinberg with an E or with a U and things like that. But in this case, you know, being that Citadel Air is a parody website, does not conduct flight activities for business or revenue of any sort, you know, and has an obvious parody website, and Twitter is just, it's not an okay thing for them to do. You know, it's not all right for them to attack us and try to suppress my man through lawsuits and have to go through arbitration to try to take his property.
What are they saying?
It's just not
I haven't
okay.
seen the logo. I haven't seen the logo, but I read the little paper that you posted where it has, they're saying that they're using the symbol, the little E or whatever, the three.
Check it out. If you watch my screen, if you on the Discord, you click my name, I'm sharing my screen right now, and you can see it. It's like, it doesn't even fit on the fucking thing. He obviously just slapped it on there real quick in Photoshop, because it's not even on a proper angle like it would be if it was actually on the wing itself. You know, so it could not be. It's not like he was trying to make it realistic. He just slapped it on there being funny. That shit's as fucking fake looking as can be, you know?
Hold on. But does Citadel Air, you have that copyrighted, correct? Or trademark?
Their logo? No, I filed a trademark under Citadel Air for my name, not for the not Citadel's their rather proprietary logo.
All right. Well, just from that picture, your domain name and the name itself does not have the symbol itself. You understand what I'm saying? So it's
Right,
not
right down
actually
here.
a part of the name
Exactly.
at all.
It's just slapped on just photoshopped on these little wings here, or fins, I should say.
If they try to tie them together as they are one and the same, and you're saying that's the name, a part of the name Citadel Air, they're wrong. That arbitration was bogus.
That was the consensus of many, actually.
Power to the people. Be right back in 1 second. Gonna take the little one for a nap.
Well, yeah, thanks, man, for going to bat for free speech.
I mean, that's no worries. That's why I started this account. You know, way back in the. See, it sounds like way back, but it was just the spring. I started this because the part of it was for comic relief, and the other part was, satire, get news out there and tell the full story. And now I can see them if I violate. I could see if I had violated any, if Twitter's rules or whatnot. But I was very careful in what I posted and what I said, etc., as to stay within their confines, as well as stay within fair use, parity use law. I was very careful not to step over that line.
Yeah, I see now the First Amendment argument, and the fact that you could use their symbol to the extent that you're not making no profit, and they're never going to be able to prove that. So it's like them trying to take your domain name for a sticker because it's not part of the domain name. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's a great point. It's just further from somebody who studies law, even further confirmation of what we all know to be true, that Citadel's full of shit. And I'm so glad you're fucking suing the piss out of them back, man. It's not okay for them to try to sue you and take your property, your Twitter account, and all that shit. That shit's not fucking cool. We're not gonna stand for it.
They didn't expect me to have attorneys to respond to their initial one. They just thought I'd roll over and default, and it would just be handed over to them, which I suspect others have done. So their response to the, our response, their rebuttal was like ridiculous. It was clear they were not prepared for the panel, and were caught off guard. So I'm hoping that this will catch them off guard too, because which one of us has actually stood up and said, no, fuck you, and you can't take away, you can't take away my speech, thoughts, etc. I don't know. That was more my thinking. Is there have been far too many people silenced, and I if it happens to me, it can happen to anyone, and it's just it didn't sit well with me. And if I had an opportunity to to possibly put a dent in, and stand up for those that could not for themselves, then that's what I'm doing, man.
Somebody said you should turn the Citadel logo upside down on the airplanes because they're going down.
You flip it like the flags, like it's in distress. Flip it upside down.
Mm-hmm.
I might do that.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
That's good.
Appreciate you guys, man. Just want to let you guys know there's like almost 600 people that have been hanging out and watching, coming and going, and leaving supportive comments in the chat and in the comments on YouTube, brother. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm so proud of everybody and so happy that you're able to show out and show up and support other people. Because like he said, if this could be any of us could get sued at any time by these pieces of shit. And that's a risk that I knew coming into this as well. And I said, fuck it. If that's what happens, that's what happens. That's the way we'll go.
Yeah, no, that's why I started the account, because for professional reasons, I didn't want to use my personal Twitter, so that's why Citadel Air was born. And then, I said fuck it too, because in order to stand up and to say no, I have to I have to quite literally dox myself.
Yeah, you have to come public with all your information and details because of this bullshit.
And you know what? It's bullshit, but at this point, I don't care.
Same.
I think that they've just crossed the line for me. Like,
mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think the general public at large, I don't think you have anything to fear from regular people. You know what I mean? So, and thanks again. You're being brave, dude. You're doing what a lot of us couldn't do if we were in that position.
I appreciate it, man. If this was a different community, I would have thought twice about it. But I'm heavily invested in the community at large, and not just financially, and a couple of the positions. But you know what? If my intent from starting this from the get-go was to be heard or to provide a laugh, or quite frankly, it was. I'll be honest. It was a coping mechanism for me to bring some humor into my life, because after my mother passed of cancer, so that was part of a coping mechanism. And if I could bring some info and laughs and some other things in other people's lives, then all the better. And to have that struck from me is didn't quite hit me right. And then to take whatever else was associated with it doesn't fly. Don't mind the pun.
These pieces of shit actually said that their argument is that the respondent uses the disputed domain name to divert internet users to respondent's website, confusing them into believing that some sort of affiliation exists between it and the complainant. So basically, Citadel is claiming that Citadel Air is taking their hedge fund clientele and converting them to CitadelAir.com in order to sell them what? Absolutely fucking nothing? That makes no fucking sense. So their argument is flawed from the fucking very get-go.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many irregularities with the finding, and their argument
is showing that you report to offer private airline services. Get the fuck out of here.
What they're referring to, because the website's still in development, and I kind of paused it, but it was going to have live tracking of Kenny's flight.
It was just fucking fantastic. Speaking of that, let's check out Ken's fucking flight. We want to see where the fuck he's at, guys. let's check in on Kenny. But go ahead, keep telling us more about that, man. What were you gonna do with the website?
No, that was the whole point. It was the live flight tracking was going to have all of his instead of me having to like post flight logs, it was all going to be archived online. You could track it in real time. And it took me a while to build it out, but I didn't put it live because for whatever moral or ethical reasons, I didn't feel it's hard to explain, but I felt that if something happened to Kenny, like as much as I disagree with everything that's going on, it happened to him or his family because of information that people got from me, like at what airport, etc., or something happened, I don't know if I could be like sleep at night knowing that happened. So that's kind of why I stopped posting live flight data, and I didn't roll that out.
Well, you know what? Fuck Ken Griffin. Let's find his flight data right now. That sounds like a good idea. Let's track that motherfucker.
Do it up, man.
He's been all
For what
over
it's
the
worth,
place.
I put a tweet out.
Here you go, guys. Take a screenshot if you want. You can have all of Kenny's whereabouts here. So on Halloween, that motherfucker was in Teterboro, Chicago Midway, Hollywood Burbank, and backed up Chicago Midway. Interesting. I guess he took his the kids that his wife took from him trick-or-treating, apparently. Motherfucker was in Chicago on the 1st, went to Palm Beach, Miami International, and back to Chicago. That's interesting. I wonder what the fuck he's running back and forth. November 5th, he was from Teterboro to Granada, Spain. And the piece of shit's going to visit the brothels over there at La Nava, which we've shown in previous videos. Probably get cuckolded by Jim Cramer. Who knows what the fuck else. On November 10th, he went from Teterboro to Austin Bergstrom. The 11th, from Bergstrom to Chicago Midway. And apparently he's doing circles around fucking Midway. He flew over Ottumwa, Iowa, and came straight back. So apparently he forgot one of his fucking crypto hard wallets or something and had to come back. Let's take a look. Ken Griffin left November 14th, Chicago Midway at 11:01 a.m. Thank you very much, Silverback, for helping put together this incredible information. He arrived at Teterboro, visited Riverhead, New York, Chicago Midway again the following day, back to Teterboro. Damn. Almost as if they're moving a lot of things back and forth, huh? It's pretty interesting. I wonder what it could be. November 17th, Chicago Midway to Teterboro. Wow. And he just got back from La Nava, Spain. He just went once again to La Nava, Spain for about
whatever
the
he's
fifth
doing is
time.
definitely legal.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really legal. There's no money laundering of any sort going on. Where the fuck's he at? We got multiple jets for this asshole, so don't want to pull up the wrong one for you guys.
I mean, one's the one that's his daily driver, and the other one his wife uses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gave one. I'm not sure, Silverback. You, by any chance, you're still here? Did he give his wife a stipend instead of his jet, or did he give her the jet also? He might have stepped out.
Yeah, my understanding was that she got exclusive use of one of the jets, and he takes the Global Express is his daily driver.
He wants the big boy jet so he can haul more fucking artwork and piles of fucking cash, piles of gold bars.
I mean, have you seen the size of the bedroom on that thing, man? It's like a third of the plane is a bedroom. It's whacked.
Yep. So this is where Ken Griffin keeps fucking going. He just got back from here again. It's about the 5th time that he's visited in the last 2 months. And the guy that owns La Nava is, I think, the 5th richest person in all of Spain. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some sort of a money tied up together as investors, or if they're possibly getting liquidity. I'm not exactly sure what the deal is. I don't know what is occurring over there, but I doubt it's all vacations. I really do.
La cuckold.
I'm surprised they didn't catch him and Jim and Kenny in one of these pictures over here laying by the pool together. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And for those of you that are unaware, his tail number is N302AK. It is owned by KP Holdings. And I'm sure it makes a great business expense.
Yeah, well, if that's the argument that it's a business expense, right off, then why is his West Palm real estate also put in KP Holdings?
Ooh, damn. West Palm Real Estate is also held by KP Holdings? Surprise, surprise.
When I did my initial research to verify the plane, when I was able to find his tail number, I also found assets in West Palm Real Estate Holdings. It may have changed since then, but that's initially how I tied everything back.
Yeah, formerly owned by Bank of America Leasing. It looks like. Yeah, this thing's got 23 seats, 2 Rolls-Royce engines, putting out almost 15,000 pounds of thrust. This thing is a massive. It could definitely, do trips overseas and back even without a refuel if you had to. Well, let's see where the fuck he's at. Where are we at here? I gotta switch dates on this thing.
Hey man, if we get
Hold that push to talk a little bit longer.
We can take it apart and mail everybody a piece for a souvenir.
Sounds like a good idea. Let's see if we've got any data available. 12/6. Oh yeah, that's right. He was at fucking La Nava. What kind of a man flies to La Nava on 12/4, stays for less than 1 day, and leaves on 12/5? Why would you fly across the goddamn ocean to stay for less than a day unless you were making some sort of a pickup or drop off? Was it really so important that it couldn't be discussed by phone? And the proof here that he's coming up, taking off, ascending, I should say, is that the altitude here is at 10,000 feet. All right, La Nava is right up here. It's the only airport that can actually handle a plane of that size. And this is where it takes him, to the 5th richest man in Spain. This is like the 5th time in the last 2 months that he's been there.
What if he's just taking his massive dildo collection over there?
I'm sure they're worth billions and billions of dollars. They've got a massive warehouse right off the airstrip at La Nava that we've covered in other videos. It is literally, you take a road from the airstrip directly to this fucking warehouse that is basically has no ownership over there. That is being owned by the same person that owns the rest of this because it's on his land. But you tell me what the
Full
fuck
of
they're
Kenny
doing
G
over there.
still.
These guys are playing games. They're playing games, moving money around the country, most likely, moving money around the world. I think since Bernie Madoff fried, I think Ken Griffin's gonna fry, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take off before. He did stop in Grenada for fuel or another drop off or pickup. That's a very quick turnaround. Arriving over there. Let me see, at 119 and back in the air at 157. So they were on the ground for less than 40 minutes. Yeah, this guy's playing fucking games. Maybe he wants CitadelAir.com for his money laundering business. What a fucking joke.
I mean, I'd be open to discussions for a modest 30% fee of all. I'd be happy to help him out with that. But that so far I have not been approached.
See, Ken Griffin, we're willing to work with you, man. $500,000 a share. That's the deal, Kenny.
Hey, boss.
What's up, brother?
I'm fairly certain that is the third trip in the last month and a half that he's done to La Nava.
That's not surprising.
Which is peculiar because it's surprising because not surprising, but typically that's a once or twice a year based on history when I went back. But right. To go 3 times in a month.
I want to say it was in the last 5 or 6 weeks. It was 3 times, but if you add in the other 2 or 3 times prior to that, I think in the 4 to 5 month, about 4 month period, I think he's gone probably 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot more than historical record.
Yeah, and these were pretty much like Boss was saying on this one. These were, I believe, almost every single one of them were a turn and burn. That maybe the next morning, but I think some of them were maybe even the same day. Don't quote me on that.
No, that's accurate. The ones I looked at, they were exactly a turn and burn. That's what I was going to say. And you don't even need 40 minutes to refuel. I mean, but you can. I mean, it can be done in less, and that's a fairly remote airport where I can't imagine there's a lot of traffic, so you have to wait. But
well, I do know that via what I've seen online on a couple of the YouTube deals is they actually brought a mobile fueling unit out that had to travel in, and I don't know what that nearest
it was over 100
mobilization airport would be. Yeah. So that's one thing, but what is really confusing to me is why is he doing that at both La Nava and at Grenada?
Yeah.
I think he has to check into the country each time he goes.
Then there's no reason to stop at Grenada.
Yeah, I think he has to stop in at Grenada to check into the country.
You can check into the country at any airport, at least here in the States. It doesn't. If I'm flying my plane from Spain to the U.S., obviously flight plans filed, but I can enter in Portland, Maine, JFK, Boston, Miami, or Bumbletown. That's like I'm from Boston, so a fairly remote airport, but you still have to go through ICE customs, but it can be done. It doesn't have to be done. It's not like they're all directed through one airport.
There's the
and that was what was a little weird too. Is so if he is stopping at Grenada each and every time, and his final destination is La Nava, then what is the common denominator? What is in Grenada? Because he stops on the way out again. So is there someone there he's picking up? Is there somebody there he's dropping? It's confounding.
Clearly a cuck stop.
Yeah, it's La Perdiz. I forgot the name of La Nava La Perdiz Aerodrome.
Well, that's where they produce the world's finest mayonnaise, my friend. That's what we're forgetting.
It's not surprising at all.
That's disgusting. Anyway.
Yeah, but it's pretty clear that's exactly where the fuck he's been going. It's the only airport that can handle that sort of aircraft.
Right.
Within, 10
well, not only that, because
such a short distance.
Because of his, well, not just the shorter distance, but he doesn't get up to cruising altitude at all. You know what I mean?
Exactly. From Granada to here, it's all low altitude until it descends again.
What ceiling? I don't have it in front. You're screen up in front of me. But what ceiling does he hit? Under 10,000?
I got it right here.
I want to say when he gets over that mountain range, I want to say he's at like 7,900, 7,800. But you got to remember, the actual elevation there is like 2,000 plus. If memory serves me correctly, I don't have it in front of me. I'm doing this.
I'm looking at it right now. From Granada to La Perdiz, the maximum altitude they hit is 14,000 feet.
Right, and then if you take off the 2,000 elevation, if you do there's a way to actually touch that La Perdiz airport and find out what the elevation is of the strip.
Yeah.
Then do the delta on that, and that'll give you, I want to say he was probably around 11 and change.
Oh, that means there's no flight plan required. I mean, they can fly VFR. So.
Oh.
What is VFR?
Visual flight rules only. Not
like that dude.
I want him to personally fly my fucking money to me right now.
Yeah, see right here he's descending here. You can see him 14,000 down to 10,000. And that's where we lose the tracking every time. No, he actually goes down to 99.75. Maybe even a little bit lower. 9,200 feet, basically, before we lose him on tracking. And then at that point, he's just but a mile or but a couple miles from the actual airport, which is really quite close. It's from there to here. Yeah, there's the airplane, and here's the airline.
We should find out if there's anyone in the community, like any apes nearby within like 10 miles, 25 miles of there.
Come on, apes. There's got to be somebody living in Andalusia. There's got to be somebody living in Santiago. One of you guys got to be able to go over there and fucking check that shit out. Make sure you don't get shot. If you live near Castellano de Santiago or Andalusia, hit me up.
That is in the middle of nowhere. It is agricultural like nothing but. Well, and hunting, of course. But
ain't that fucking
seems a bit fishy to me, boss. I mean, I want to know what's in that brand new big ass building that they just erected. I mean, I know what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be something for olive oil because they have a huge olive oil plantation there. But there's something that's real close proximity to that airstrip.
Get this out. Check this out, guys. Here, get this, all right? So there's that airstrip that we're talking about. I showed you the video, showing the airstrip. And if you take this road right off the airstrip, right here, look at how close it is. That's the airstrip. And there's the parking for the airplanes. You can see there's an airplane right there. If you take this road or this road, either one of them, they both lead to this place. And this is all basically brand new construction. You can still see the crane, the ocean containers, 20-footers and 40-footers. There's 20-footers and 40-footers here. You can see chemical totes, plastic totes with metal casings around them. You can see barrels and drums, here all over the ground. See, those are all drums of various fluids and concoctions. This is a massive warehouse / production facility, and they've got several other buildings here, 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 and here. So this looks like a swimming pool, and this is a house. Or no, it's not a house. I'm sorry. This is another like an office building or some sort of building. It looks like, and this is like another container of some sort. Can't tell exactly what.
Hey, boss. Remember in the middle of that building where that lone tree is? Zoom into that small square It's, I believe that you're right. That may be a pool.
Here?
And if you look,
It looks like
no,
right here.
no, south.
Here.
That's a shed.
Okay.
But if you look, see that single tree in between the buildings? Yeah, that thing right there.
Yeah. It kind of does look like it. I'm not sure why the fuck it would be like that. It's some sort of a little like backyard swimming pool, lap pool, or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that building, that horseshoe building, that may be some type of a barracks for people working over at this new site.
Could definitely be the case, right?
Because
this is still under heavy construction.
Right.
Hey, boss.
What's up, brother?
You, I don't know if there's a way to find out on Google Maps, like when the image was taken, but like the image of my house is like old as hell, like years ago. Well, I completely remodeled my house, don't own the same cars or anything anymore, so I don't know when this picture was taken. You know,
every 2 to 3 years.
It's fairly recent, though.
The reason I say that is because construction could be finished and it could be looking completely different now. There may be even more there now that wasn't there before.
Of course. There could definitely be. You know, we just don't have, I just don't have that exact information, you know.
Right, I just make a mention of it.
Yeah, this is in Ciudad Real, Spain. So if anybody lives in España, this is Torre de Juan Abad. Here's the fucking address. Torre de Juan Abad, 13344, Ciudad Real, Spain.
It's at the corner of Donkey and Cow.
Literally, look. Bunch of fucking cows. That's all here.
Oh, that's my
here.
ex-wife. Yeah.
At the corner of Donkey and Cow, man. That's on point. Here you go. That's what it looks like. Guard checks. Think they got fucking military-style guard checks for no reason? Fucking CB radios. Got no what kind of radio towers over here. Look at these solar panels for this shit. That's fucking great.
Sorry, hi boss. I just got in. To the guy who was asking to the question about you can see when Google took the picture, there's a disclaimer down in the image. You can see when it was.
Hey, I'm having some trouble hearing you, brother. Any chance you could speak up a little tiny bit?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes. What were you saying?
Is it good enough now?
Actually, that wasn't the exact address of this place. This place comes up with some goofy-ass address. You see that? It took me somewhere else. It says here, Casa de San Rafael, 13344, Torre de Juan Abad, Ciudad Real. Yeah, so it's got... We've got...
He was trying to tell you there's a way to find the date of the image.
Okay, at the bottom it says Imagery 2021 Google Imagery, so it might be from 2021, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
yes.
cool. It's right here at the bottom, guys. Instituto de Cartograph 355A de Andalucía, Maxar Technologies, Map Data 2021. Great. So it's fucking recent from this year. So yeah, man, here's the warehouse. Check this out. You see this? This is all like some sort of manufacturing and facilities. But this baby, look at this brand fucking new warehouse. New concrete, new steel, new everything. Like, look at these. These are some sort of, I don't know if they were like water drums or something, but this shit's brand fucking new. Here's what looks like to be some sort of generator, brand fucking new. You know, like it looks like it's barely even been rained on. So, not to get too far off the subject.
I think when we measured that before, it was like 120 or 140 feet by about 80 feet, if I'm not mistaken. It's substantial.
It's a massive warehouse. Ken Griffin and company could allegedly be taking all sorts of art, valuables, you know, gold, silver, and anything else tangible, you know, even crypto hard wallet, and locking it up in a lockbox in this facility. I don't think anyone's going to go over there and mess about. You know, people don't mess around like that in Spain, because if you go mess around and poke around one of these warehouses, that's instant death, and no one will ever hear from you again.
What are you talking about? You live in the city of Chicago. It's the same thing.
Practically. Practically the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
Well,
don't go too
and
far
that's
off.
how I know, because we're from fucking Chicago. I know what the fuck happens. I've seen it, sadly. Shit, get fucked up, shit happens. On that note, boys and girls, make sure you guys drop some support for Citadel Air. Please go on Twitter, all your social media, Reddit, spread it on Reddit. We need to do that. If you've got karma, please do post it up. Citadel Air is being sued by Citadel LLC and its related entity, CETM Holdings, represented by Laura Franco and Winston Strawn LLP. Let's check these fucking assholes out. They seem like a real class act. Winston Strawn LLP. So these are Citadel's hitmen, huh? Let's see if they got any complaints.
Seems to be the case.
Let's see if they've got any complaints.
Oh Christ! That's all we need is like 400 apes doing like submitting bar complaints against them.
Yeah,
Jesus
man,
Christ.
that's not a bad idea. Let's see what the fuck's going on over there. The legal correspondent for Cheat Clean Machine trademark is Laura Franco. I'm not surprised they would look to help somebody named Cheat Clean Machine. Oh, look. Here's their law office and their attorney docket number. Hold on.
Well, they probably figure they can just get away with suing people that, into bankruptcy, or they can't afford to go to court, so they just give up.
Well, I wonder if you had like 5 million retail investors send a letter to the bar, wherever they're out of, and just inundate them. Just or Franco, where are they out of? Does it say?
Well, yeah. Looking into these assholes, what do we have? Any information?
Huh. That says San Francisco there.
Oh, good. They're on LinkedIn. Fantastic. Everybody, make sure you visit Laura Franco on LinkedIn and say hello. But please be respectful. Laura Franco, counsel for Winston & Strawn, LLP, from La Honda, California, doing the dirty work of Citadel Securities and Citadel LLC. Focuses on practice on intellectual property counseling and litigation, and trying to take people's property and trying to strip them of their First Amendment rights of free speech. What a class act. Oh, there's our attorney license, number 186765. Well, interesting. Let's take a look at that. I wonder how much money they've spent on Google to get certain information removed. We're going to have to check out DuckDuckGo, all the other locations, everything else we can find. Maybe run a background check. Laura's been recognized in World Trademark Review's WTR 1000. I am sure. I wonder if they list their customers. Oh, wait, we don't need them to do that. It's all over the internet. Oh, here's your V card. Contact information if anybody needs it. Say hello. Maybe give them your thoughts.
Just out of curiosity, what does it say under what we do?
Oh, it's bullshit. But where?
No,
Here?
just wonder if it's anything about frivolous lawsuits.
Domain name litigation. What we do. Let's find out. Address, Winston & Strawn LLP, 101 California Street, San Francisco, California, 94111. Damn, my kid's freaking out. I'm going to go check on her. Oh, she's good. Mom's out there. No worries. Practicing in the state of California since it looks like 2001. It's funny how she got admitted in 1996, but didn't practice until 01. Is that standard? No idea. Complaints and claims. Copy that. Interesting. And there's the State Bar's multilingual intake hotline. 800-843-9053. Winston and Strawn LLP. What we do. Just a bunch of corporate bullshit. So yeah, make sure you guys are sharing this everywhere you can. Get the publicity out there. Put it on LinkedIn. You know, we've talked this week alone. We've talked just with investors of Citadel that didn't know they had their money invested in Citadel, and explained to them the situation. You know, people are coming out of the woodwork, showing their losses as Citadel investors. So make sure you guys keep sharing this. Hashtag free Citadel Air. Hashtag free Citadel Air. Keep that shit going. Let's get it trending. And let's support our buddy. So, hey, thanks again, man, for coming out and sharing this information with us, because it's really important. I think it's really important. If you're doing this, you're not alone, brother. So keep giving us what you can, what the attorneys tell you can, and we will do our best to show the world just how classy Citadel really is.
I appreciate it, brother. I will keep you apprised, and appreciate the support. I'm sure we'll stay in touch as always.
Yeah. So again, this is my man's page before it got taken down. Citadel Air. This literally says Citadel Air helps meet the luxury travel needs of asset managers, banks, broker dealers, hedge funds, government agencies, but we mostly just fly Kenny. It says social media influencer from the Cayman Islands, CitadelAir.com. Does that sound fucking real? Do you think Citadel would post something like that? Of course not. And I think anybody that has common sense, any attorney, any judge is going to look at this and be like, yeah, that's obviously a fucking joke. Fuck. I hope you smash them, brother. I hope you fucking smash Citadel in court. Get everything you fucking can for damages and everything. You know what, man? I think I'm emotionally distressed now, so make sure you put my name on that fucking lawsuit too, all right? Marcel D. Kalinovic, all right? I got your back, brother. Fuck this guy.
Put you as a co-complainant, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Tell the attorneys. I got money. Let's go. I'll throw some down. Oh, look. Here's our buddy Laura Franco, trademark and brand attorney at Winston Strawn LLP on LinkedIn. Oh, let me send her a fucking invite. Yeah. Connect. Let's connect. Yeah. Should we add a note? Hi, Laura. Would you be so kind as to grant us a few moments of your time for a live video discussion on YouTube regarding the frivolous case between Citadel LLC and Citadel Air?
She is not going to do a YouTube video.
Why not? She's an attorney. What, you think she can't handle Boss Blunts? Come on. Come on, Laura.
No.
You can't handle Boss Blunts? Come on.
It's funny, though.
Old Yeller can handle Boss Blunts.
Oh, you mean Danny DeVito?
Where's my girlfriend, Old Yeller? She's around here somewhere.
Yeah, where's she up to? Isn't she? Shouldn't she be busy working on something?
But on that note, I've got some business to attend to. I want to thank Citadel Air again for his courage, for his time, for his money, for his efforts, and for the entertainment and education that you've provided to myself and everybody on your Twitter channel, on your website, and here on YouTube with us as well. I know we've done other things in the past, but we've got to have you on more, brother. So I'm glad we could talk about this right now. Let's keep in touch on this. On that note, my friends, who wants a fucking song? I can go for a song. Real quick before I go. Peace out, everybody. Peace and wealth.
J Squad.
Fuck Ken Griffin. Let me so goddamn rich.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Getting fucking rich. I want my fucking money. Griffin, I want my fucking money. Yeah, motherfucker. Holy shit, we're gonna be so fucking rich. Great. Damn it, we're gonna be so fucking rich. I want my fucking money. Griffin, I want my fucking money.
You're an original,
Hey,
aren't
yelling,
you?
give me the fucking money. Get the goddamn money printer out.